Grace and peace. My name is Daniel Rivette from Abundant Harvest Church of God. So I've been asked to answer a couple of questions. This might be a little bit of fun of 3 types of women and how I differentiate between them, and when I was single, and what led to my decisions to date or to continue dating them. And the first one we have is a chicken head. I find this funny. I'm dating myself by even using the term, but as I can tell you that there are always different names. It depends on your time period. There's always a name for this type of woman. The name doesn't matter. You have been put in a category. That's what you have to understand. If someone is a chicken head, they have been placed in that category. If someone is called a thot, they are being categorized. What are they being categorized as? They're being categorized as a type of woman. That they possess certain ideologies. They possess. They have things that they do and things that they say, and there are always disparities between the things that they say they believe and the things that they do. So they usually don't match anything that they say or do. This is the type of woman that that a man, especially an unsaved man, and I have to tell you, if you're a Christian man, you're not dating a chicken head. You're not dating a thot. You're not going out there looking for these types of women. They're not even on your radar. If you see them, you see them, but they're not being considered for dating. They're not being considered for marriage. That's the type of woman out in the world. I mean, like before I was saved, like I said, this was the kind of woman you can treat them how you will. You can do with them as you will, because that's the type of woman that she is. She claims to be one thing and is not. She claims that she demands respect, but yet she accepts disrespect constantly, and she disrespects herself. She's a contradiction. She's a walking contradiction. She'll tell you what she's not, yet she will exude all of those, everything that a particular type of woman would stand for. So, for example, since we're talking about dating, she might say, I'm not a hoe, but yet everything she does screams it. Even if she is not physically doing anything, but she is giving that vibe. That's what she's exuding. That's what she's being seen as. And then to claim that she's something else and say, no, I'm not really like that, so we're looking at you like, okay, why are you playing around? You a chicken. The second one would be a lady. And now I differentiated a little bit between a lady and a Christian lady, because it is quite possible when you look at Proverbs 31 verses 10 to 31, when it talks about a virtuous, great wife, it's any kind of woman can be this marvelous woman. She's a capable wife. She's been prepared. She's a woman who's been prepared. She prepared herself in marriage. She knows what she needs to do. Now, the Christian woman and a wonderful prepared woman, also, they match up until verse 29. And then verse 30, well, verse 30 is where you see the difference. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have my Bible right here. Let me tell you what verse 30 says. Verse 30 says, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord will be praised. Now, my take on that is that any woman can have a prosperous household. Any woman can make her marriage prosperous, but the one who makes it last is the Christian woman, because she not only does all these things, and even if she isn't a great in business and things like that, she still takes care of what she takes care of, and she takes care of it well. But the Christian woman is possession of something else. And I'm talking about a true Christian woman, not just a woman who goes to church. She is in possession of the fruit of the Spirit. And what is that? That's love, that's joy, that's peace, that's patience, that's kindness, goodness, faith, gentleness, and self-control. A good woman can get him. She can get the guy. She can get him to marry her. But a real Christian woman is the one who will keep him. Now, dating-wise, you know, A lady is always going to be attractive to all men, but to a Christian man, that is going to be the game changer. Is she a Christian woman? Because she can be wonderful and marvelous and all these things, but she doesn't possess certain qualities, because there's very specific qualities. And when you look at Proverbs 31, and certain ones are not mentioned that are vital for being happy in the home. All right, and the third one was a naive woman. Again, as Christian men, they're not even considering certain types of women who are naive, and they just seem clueless to what's going on, what's been happening to them, how they're being treated. They seem clueless. It's not like they're to be compared to the first one, who is just out there and being wild. But this woman is really clueless. And for this, I actually have a scripture in 2 Timothy 3, verses 1 through 7. Just bear with me for a second. And it says, "But know this, difficult times will come in the last days, for people will be lovers of self, lovers of money, boastful, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, ungrateful, unholy, unloving, irreconcilable, slanderers, without self-control, brutal, without love for what is good, traitors, reckless, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, holding to the form of religion but denying its power. Avoid these people." Now, verse 6 says, "For among them are those who worm their way into households and capture idle women burdened down with sins, led along by a variety of passions, always learning and never able to come to a knowledge of the truth." Now, it's interesting that they mention, they're talking about this horrible type of person, these horrible types of people that are going to emerge in the last days. And what do? They prey on these naive women. This version says idle, but they're in the others it calls them foolish women, because they're naive. They're not thinking. They don't know what's going on around them. And this type of person preys on them. This type of person looks at them and says, "Oh yeah, I can do whatever I want. I can treat them however. I can use them however." So when dating, in my mind, you're always. I didn't even date a lot. In my day, even in my days before coming to the Lord, I didn't date. I just, I was content with finding women who I would have extended. I guess I would call it some sort of relationship, but it was only based around certain things. I wasn't trying to be considered anyone's boyfriend or anything else like that, but I did date a few times, and I always said this. I always said, dating isn't something you do for fun. If I'm dating with the intent to marry. If I'm dating someone, it's because I see that they have qualities in them that I am looking for, and potentially this woman can be a great wife. I hope I didn't go on too long, and I hope this has been helpful. Once again, Daniel REDD from Abundant Harvest Church of God. Now I gotta go record my YouTube videos. See you.